Welcome to the JP8 report. This is James Pierce with the JP8 report, episode 464. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the JP8 report. Just having a little bit of fun there. uh, man. Okay, so how are y'all doing today? I got COVID for life back in for a second dose of the JPA report today. Welcome, Ricky. I'm really can't wait till tomorrow I get to see you again. But I mean, we eat breakfast together, everybody. Okay, every Friday morning. Because I'm old, and we have a group called the Golden Oldies, so we all hang out together sometimes every Friday morning at 9 o'clock. That's why I sign off of here like 8:50 on Friday, because it gives me time to get down there to be with these guys. It's a really fun time we have. We do Monday through Friday. We do Fridays at 9 a.m. And then the first Wednesday of the month we go somewhere, and I believe the third Saturday of the month we go eat somewhere, and it's really a good time. Okay, people need to get out more often. All right, so welcome to the JP8 report. Um, if you are not a follower of the podcast, click that little bell right beside where it says the JP8 report, and then go to the bottom of it and you see the word follow. Click it, and you're a follower. Dun, 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 dun. And then smash that green button, smash that thumbs up button right beside that, and then it'll turn green, and you'll give me a like for the podcast. So, Ricky, hit that like button. All right. And then if you want to get there and chat with us, go for it. He's not afraid to write back. And I usually answer the questions over there. No big deal. And then, so that being said, what do we got here? Let's go. Because we're gonna run out of time. It always happens. Um, so we have American 250 moment. I have another letter. This is a military letter from General Washington to John Hancock. It tells about the current situation. So, sir, I was yesterday morning favored with yours on the 15th, accompanied by several resolutions from Congress and commissions for officers appointed by to the late vacancies in the Army. I wrote some days ago to General Schuler the purpose of Generals Carleton and Burgoyne in exchange for prisoners in consequence of a former resolve of Congress authorizing the commanders in each department to negotiate one. That of Major Meigs of for that of Major Meigs for Major French and Captain Dearborn for any officer of equal rank. I submitted to General Howe's consideration by letter on the 17th, understanding their paroles have been sent to him by General Carleton, but have not received his answer upon the subject. I respect for to the exchange of prisoners in Canada. If a proposition on that head has not already been made, and I believe it has not, I enclosed a copy of General Carleton's orders transmitted me under the seal of Major Bigelow, who was sent with a flag to General Burgoyne from Ticonderoga with the proceedings of Congress on the breach of capitulation, that means surrender, at the Cedars and inhumane treatment of the people afterward, which show it unnecessary, as he has determined to send them with their own provinces there to remain as prisoners, interdicting at the same time all kind of intercourse between us and his army, except that he may as be for the purpose of imploring the king's mercy. The assassination he mentions of Brigadier General Gordon is a fact entirely new to me, and what I have never heard of before. I shall not trouble Congress with my strictures upon this incident. A liberal scrupulous performance so highly unbecoming of a character of a soldier and a gentleman, only observing that the design is somewhat artful and that each boatman in Major Bigelow was furnished a copy. I have also transmitted Congress a copy of the Major's journal, which I beg leave to refer them for the intelligence reported by him on his return from the truce. By a letter from General Greene yesterday evening, he informed me he has received an express from Hog Island Inlet advising that 5 of the enemy's small vessels had appeared at the mouth of the creek and some troops on board. Also, that he had heard the 2 Piglars, I have no idea what that means, were off the Oyster Bay. The whole supposed to have after the hole's supposed to be after livestock, and to prevent their getting it, he had detached a party of horse and 220 men among them, 20 riflemen. I have not received further intelligence upon the subject. I am also advised by the examination to Captain Britton, master of a vessel that has not had been taken, transmitted me by General Mercer, and that the general report among the enemy's troops was he came off, and that they were to attack Long Island and to secure our works there, if possible, by the same time that another part of the army is to land above the city. This information is corroborated by other accounts and is probably true, nor will it be possible to prevent them from landing on the island, as its great extent affords a variety of places favorable for that purpose, and the whole of our works on it at the end opposite to the city. However, we shall attempt to harass them as much as possible, which will be all that we can do. I have the honor to be, with the sentiments of your great esteem, sir, your most obedient servant, General Washington. A little bit of intel with that landing in Long Island. The day is the 20th. The Battle of Long Island begins on the 27th. So it's about to begin. All right. So we got to talk about these guys, my friend, the armament shop. Whether you're looking for your first firearm, upgrading your setup, or need expert service, Jason at the Armament Shop is Copper's Cove's premier source for all things shooting. Browse our wide selection of pistols, rifles, and shotguns, backed by top tier gunsmithing for repairs, along with reloading supplies and professional cleaning to keep your firearm in peak condition. Need a transfer? We make FFL transfers fast, easy, and affordable. Need your CHL? Jason can handle those classes. He has over 3 decades of experience. Visit the Armament Shop today at 115A West Avenue D in Coppers Cove, or call or text 254-560-2023, or visit www.armamentshop.com. That's www.armamentshop.com. The Armament Shop, your safety is our priority. I'm back. Alrighty. Okay, we're about to do the Iran update. Need something to drink. Hold on. Alrighty. So, the Iran update. This is what I got overnight. Trump announces the most crushing economic operation against Iran is beginning. The United Arab Emirates accused Iran of firing 2 missiles at them yesterday and cut off all trade between the UAE and Iran. Saudi Arabia is demanding that Iraq crack down on Iranian militia leaders that are still in their country. Oil prices are up. The Israeli Defense Forces attacked Syria yesterday to prevent Turkey from gaining a foothold. And then 65 vessels have been redirected at the blockade. 2 have been boarded, and 3 have been disabled. Um, hold on just a second. Hold on. Oh, never mind. Okay, I can get back to that one. Never mind. Someone sent me a text from a company I used to own that they were inquiring about something. Okay, I'll get back to that later. All right. So what was that? Oh yeah, and then the U.S. warns of active Iranian threats from cyber terrorism. So be on the mark for that. I saw yesterday. You know how Iran is offering $30,000 bounty on American soldiers, dead or alive. Well, the U.S. reciprocated on that and offered a $10 million bounty for any cyber terrorist from Iran that gets caught doing their stuff. Right, 30,000 one way or 10 million other way. Take your pick. Uh, the Dow Jones yesterday uh, closed up 119.65 points. It was at 53,463.05. West Texas Intermediate, just about an hour ago, was at $87.22. That's up $1 since about 2 hours ago. And Brent crude oil is up about $1 more from earlier. It's at $94.38 a barrel. All right. So that is your RAN update. Ugh. So let me do my announcements real quick and we'll get into the rest of the JP8 report. And if you watched me earlier this morning, I did add another article to this because it never ceases. But you'll see. All right. So my first announcement is day after tomorrow. This coming Saturday in Gatesville at the Texas Station Event Center, we have uh, we have the third annual Boots and Bling from the Coryell County Republican Women. It is only $50 a person. You're going to get a fajita plate out of it. You're going to get auction items out of there, silent and live, and a cupcake giveaway. Texas Connection is a country band that's going to be performing. Also, Steve Munaseri is going to be the keynote speaker for the event. So you can still get tickets. I'll tell you about how to get tickets in just a second. All right. So my next announcement is coming on the 27th of August, which is next Thursday, not tonight, but next Thursday at 6 p.m. at Pints and Politics in Gatesville at Rancher's Steakhouse. It is on the corner of 84 and 36. It starts at 6 p.m. My next announcement is for the 29th of August. It's Coryell County Republican Party Patriot Range Day at the Holly Gun Range. Admission is $20 a person. It's all you can fire. Got to bring your own weapon and ammo. If you run out of ammo and you need more, the armament shop is going to be there to sell more ammo. And Jay's going to bring some special weapons out there to have fun with. And then after you're done firing, if you drink curmudgeons, honeymead is going to be out there selling some of their stuff. All right. So we got that done. My next announcement is on the 3rd of September, which is Pints and Politics in Belton at the Dead Fish Grill, 6 p.m. It's on Lake Road. just south of the dam. It's the best of the pints of politics. And for my last announcement is the 26th of September at the Texas Station Event Center in Gatesville at 6 p.m. is our annual fish fry. And we're going to have two keynote speakers. The first one is Pete Flores, is Senate District 24 senator, which is in my district. And also we have the uh, chairwoman of the Republican Party, Texas, Dorinda Randall. She's going to be speaking also. Get your tickets. They're flying like flying fish. All right. So if you want to get tickets to either the Boots and Bling or the Fish Fry, go to the description of the podcast. And if you go down toward the bottom part of it, you'll see Coryell County, you'll see CRW Boots and Bling. That's how you get to the Boots and Bling. Click on that link and you can buy your tickets or make a donation to the Republican Party. Or you can go to CCRP Tickets Fish Fry and you'll have like a hyperlink that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines deep. That's just a hyperlink, all right? But the tickets for the Boots and Bling are $50 a piece, and the tickets for the fish fry are $35 a piece or $60 per couple. All right. So that being said, let's do this JP8 report. All right. First, hold on. That and I gotta. Oh man, I'll get that later. Drop the cough drop. Give me a second here, guys. Okay. So, what are you going to do about it? So, I alluded a little bit about this morning. So, on Instagram last night, Erica Kirk gave a long, you can call it a speech, but it was written, right? She gave some encouraging advice to returning college students. This is the very beginning of the school year after her husband was shot and killed in Utah last year, September 10th, and that's 3 weeks away. Can you believe that? We got the anniversary of his death on the 10th, and we have the 25th anniversary of September 11th, the day after that. Unbelievable. Sadness, such sadness, but there's always faith. Faith and hope in Christ, our Savior. That's the only faith there is, only hope. But this is what she was talking about, where I got the title of the podcast today. Erica Kirk, this is from Fox News, who took over leadership of Turning Point USA following the fatal shooting of her 31-year-old husband at Utah Valley University, September 10th, 2025, posted a lengthy message on Instagram Wednesday directed primarily at students beginning the new academic year. She warned that conservative and Christian students may encounter hostility at their schools, but offered a stern message: don't retreat from campus activism. That's where you get turning point action, right? Your table might get flipped, she wrote. Someone might call you every imaginable name you have at Turning Point USA. What are you going to do about it? That's what she said. Are you going to stop tabling? Are you going to shut down your chapter? Are you going to decide it is easier to keep your head down to get through the semester? No, you keep going. The CEO of the conservative nonprofit then invoked her husband's commitment to courage. Charlie committed himself to a life of courage, she wrote. I want to challenge you to do the same. He'd often talk about how courage is doing the right thing even when you don't know how it's going to work out. He would tell you that courage is being committed to the right course of action regardless of the costs associated with it. Erica Kirk also recalled how her husband deliberately traveled to college campuses where he encountered people who disagreed with him because he wanted to debate rather than the audience that had already shared his views. Good point. Uh, Man, I can barely breathe. I must be doing something good because I'm getting congested. Uh, Charlie wanted the conversation. He wanted the debate. He wanted to ask you really hard questions and challenge him. He wanted you to learn how to defend what you believe instead of repeating something because somebody you followed online said it. That is still who we are, she added. Charlie Kirk founded TPUSA to promote conservatism on college campuses nationwide. He was speaking before more than 2,000 people at TPUSA event in Orem, Utah, when he was assassinated, leaving Erica and her two children. Erica Kirk argued that her husband's assassination ultimately failed to derail the student movement he created. What was meant to destroy the movement, uh, what was meant to destroy the student movement, my husband started 14 years ago, did the opposite, she wrote. She pointed to the creation of new TPUSA chapters and said students have registered others to vote, tabled on campuses, organized events, and knocked on doors. Erica Kirk also thanked students for supporting her over the past year and said being around them makes her feel her husband's presence, and she acknowledged the emotional weight beginning the first school year without Charlie. Uh, it's still so painful that it's our first start of the school year without Charlie. It hasn't been easy to do any of these without him, but he left us a blueprint on how to continue his mission, and that's what we're doing. Um, so I'm not even going to talk about the guy that killed him, but hope he's going to go to jail. All right. Turning Point USA. I've followed them for years. Um, I know and I believe in what he did, and I see what she's doing, and the other people at TPUSA. Just keep going. Don't give up. All right? Don't give up. Because the moment you give up is when the enemy is going to win. We're at 8:23. I didn't even see what time it was. So last night, a judge in Missouri handed the president a win for redistricting. So what I'm talking about is in Missouri, they did a redistricting of some congressional districts in there uh, to make it more representative of the state of Missouri and to eliminate a majority minority congressional district that was still in place, even though the Supreme Court said they're not allowed to exist because it should be based on population and not by race. All right? So that's what the Republicans did. And as soon as they did that and to split Kansas City, because I think is Emmanuel Cleaver's is Emmanuel Cleaver is a congressional representative there. He's a Democrat. He's a very liberal Democrat. And as soon as they redistricted that part of Missouri, which is Kansas City, Missouri, is on the west side of Missouri, because Kansas City is really two Kansas Cities, one Kansas City, Kansas, one Kansas City, Missouri, and you have Mississippi goes through it. But I digress, right? Um, so as soon as the legislature passed the bill, uh, they filed a lawsuit and they got a petition together, a hefty size petition, trying to force the legislature to uh, to reverse course of what they did with the redistricting. Said it deserves to go before voters than by the legislature, but Missouri law says that no, it's the responsibility of the legislature to do redistricting. It's their role, not the citizens, right? Because you have all these uh, bipartisan civilian uh, redistricting groups. They're not really uh, nonpartisan. Most of the time, those committees that meet together are heftily to the left, and they distort the results and stuff. So they left it in the hands of the legislature, and that's what they did. Uh, the circuit court judge, his name is Daniel Green, ruled yesterday that I'll just read it flat out. The Missouri judge handed President Trump and Republicans a major redistricting victory Wednesday, ruling that the state's referendum process cannot be used to challenge congressional maps drawn by legislature and allowing a new GOP friendly map to remain in place for November's midterm elections. Cole County Circuit Judge Daniel Green ruled Wednesday that Missouri's constitutional referendum provisions do not apply to congressional redistricting enacted by the General Assembly, siding with Republican Secretary of State Denny Hoskins in a closely watched fight over a Trump backed map that could help determine the control of the U.S. House. Green also ruled that Hoskins' decision not to certify the referendum petition was lawful and ordered that the Republican backed congressional map remain in full force and effect for the 2026 general election. The plaintiff, Richard Von Gahn, appealed the ruling Wednesday evening, according to the court docket. The ruling preserves a map passed by Missouri's Republican-led legislature after Trump urged GOP-controlled states to redraw congressional boundaries ahead of the 2026 midterms. New boundaries are aimed at giving Republicans an opportunity to defeat Democrat Representative Emanuel Cleaver of Kansas City. Missouri's current 8-member House delegation is 6 Republicans and 2 Democrats. The map splits portions of Kansas City between neighboring Republican-held districts and stretches the remainder of Cleaver's 5th congressional district into a Republican-heavily rural areas. About 59% of the voters in the reshaped district are new to it. Republican State Senator Rick Batten won the GOP primary in the redrawn district earlier this month, while Cleaver was unopposed in the Democrat nomination. The new boundaries are already in use in Missouri's August primaries. Opponents collected thousands of signatures seeking to force a statewide referendum on the map. But Hoskins rejected the petition, arguing Missouri's constitution does not allow congressional redistricting to be put to a referendum. So my deal is, even though Brayton is the Republican running in that newly redrawn district and Cleavers is the Democrat, does not mean it's a shoo-in for the Republicans. Because, as they say in Top Gun Maverick, it's not the plane, Maverick, it's the pilot. And so it's not the district, it's the candidate. if you present the best message in that district, you'll get elected. That's what I'm going at, right? So you can cry, moan, groan all you want. If you want to get elected, you go out and do it ethically and legally and try to get the most votes. Because people win and people lose. All right. Hey, it's 8:30. Stock market's open. Some people are going to try to win some money. All right. So before I get to this one, I'm going to do this one. So talking about Congress, and so Mr. Cleaver's been in Congress several terms already. So yesterday, the president, how did I stick? I don't understand that. The president said yesterday he would support term limits for members of Congress. And noting his popularity, he said, I think he said it was like an 80-20 issue, right? Yeah, it's an 80-20 issue. But yeah, he would support term limits. It would have to be a constitutional amendment, though. But he said elections themselves serve as term limits because usually, if you're passionate enough and you have a candidate that's a ball of trash, and most of the time you can like primary them out or defeat them in the general election. And that's what the president was alluding to. Um, what is this? The only people Trump. Okay, so I got a troller on the chat right now. Uh, Good to know that after a tough weekend on the golf course, focused on the lives of American better. Oh, look at this! Wow, this guy. How do you actually mute someone on this? Uh, wow, dude, I got a heavy duty troller. It's on there, and they're going. Um, wow, this person. Wow, this guy. He is intelligent. Hey, how about if we get some people and put some American flags in there um, to interrupt what they're doing? Okay, so I just put American flags in. Uh, put some more American flags in. I hate trollers. I don't troll anyone. Look, there we go. Luke, thank you very much, man. Thank you. Do we got Is Ricky or Rob in there? Y'all, come on, people, put some. Look at this. He keeps going. Oh wow. I guess he had nothing better. Maybe it's a Candace Owens person, huh? Or maybe it's a Nick Fuentes person, or maybe even Hassan Piker, because this person is just. Oh my goodness, man. Wow. While struggling with the reflecting pull, Trump now takes his talents to aircraft carrier engineering. Yeah. Oh, hey, thank you, Scott. So I can't do it again because what's his name? There you go. Thanks, Scott. Let's bleed that person out of the chat, man. Oh. Okay, let's go back. Start talking about president again. Oh, here he goes again. Oh, he doesn't want to stop. All right. Hey, Luke and Rob and Ricky, come on. Let's put some stuff in there. I'm going to try to put some Texas flags in there. It'll let me do that one. All right. All right. So while y'all are playing with the troll there, all right, let's go on. So the president said elections themselves serve as term limits. So my question is, what would be a better term limit for members of Congress? Me, I would say 4 terms total would be a good limit for people serving in Congress in the House, and 18 years in the Senate, 3 terms in the Senate. All right, but along with that, also what I would do is also eliminate the congressional retirement for the legislators themselves. So if you're a member of Congress or of a member of the House, a member of the Senate, and you serve more than 5 years, because that's the limit right now, you would be ineligible for congressional retirement. All right. Uh, so that would be my answer to term limits for Congress. But like I said earlier, it's got to go before the, uh, the people of the United States for a constitutional amendment, which would mean 66% of the House and 66% of the Senate, and then uh, it would need to be signed by the president, and then go to the states, and then 75% of the states would need to sign off on the constitutional amendment, and then we would have um, term limits. So I would not do it with the federal judiciary. I would just do it with Congress, and then eliminate the congressional retirement. All right. Also, included in that amendment would be a debilitation clause in it also. Like we have the 25th Amendment for the president, I would do the same thing with Congress. If by chance you are elected and you're in the Senate or the House and you are confined to uh, a rehab or the hospital uh, or a rehab facility, like I just said that, and you're in there for 2 months or longer, then it would automatically draw a vote amongst the House and the Senate for whichever part you're a member of, and they would have to take a vote to have you removed from your seat because you're unable to actually fulfill your duties. Whether you're Republican or Democrat or Independent or DSA or Green or whatsoever, it's only fair to the American public, because if we're paying someone $15,000 a month to represent our country and represent a congressional district, they should be in Congress. I'm not talking about a recess, okay? Because Mike Johnson can research Congress and say, "Hey, come back 6 months and we'll go back to work." I'm not talking about. I'm talking about if you're in session and you're like, "James, where are you? Why aren't you at work? Why aren't you saying aye or nay?" Right? And I've been gone 62 days, right? That's the average for 2 months. That's when it would go to the speaker or go to the majority leader in the Senate, and like, "James, we're going to take a vote on whether you're going to continue to be a member or not." Right? That's what I'm talking about. I think that'd be a really, really good idea for us to proceed, but I would not touch the federal judiciary on term limits. Then you turn them into a political office. They're they're to a point they're a political office right now, but the moment you put term limits on a judge, you make him political at that point in time. Because, I just wait this guy out and I'm just going to replace him. But if there are no term limits on him, you're like, well, this guy's going to die or he's got to retire, and then we can replace him. All right. And I don't think there's too many judges that actually die in office. Most of them, they spend like 20, 25 years in office and they just retire and they go out and fish. All right. But yeah, that's my view on term limits. And the president actually likes the concept of term limits, but he says also elections are term limits also. All right. So, hey, thank y'all guys for handling the troller. I forgot on how you could actually mute someone, but y'all did a really effective job. I haven't seen so many American flags. That was really good. Same as president. There we go. Yep. Um, okay, so my next thing I wanted to go over is sort of like this troller, right? Democrats lying through their teeth to get elected, right? So this is pretty cool. Um, so several battleground Democrats running competitive races have leaned on working class blue collar biographies to connected with voters' uh, economic anxieties, but financial records and other materials reviewed by Fox News complicate images they had presented on campaign trail. Now, like me, okay, I'm retired Army, and I make a retirement, right? And I got VA disability. I do pretty good, right? But I'm telling you, when I was a kid, I was poor. I'm telling you. And now that I didn't make money because I was a kid, but my dad did make a lot of money, and he had to support six of us, right? My mom couldn't work because she had to stay with my dad because my dad had epilepsy, and so he couldn't drive. So they were a team effort. Where dad went, where mom went, and as kids, we took care of ourselves, and they gave us as much as we could. We were so poor. Right? How poor were you, right? That me and my little brother Bill had to stand up at the table to eat because we didn't have enough chairs. And when one of our brothers and sisters finished eating, we could sit down then because that's how poor we were. All right. And we learned to eat ramen noodles. And I still like ramen noodles to this day. But you got some of these Democrats running for office that, oh, woe is me, I'm poor and I want to sell, I want to represent you because you're poor. And yeah, some of these guys, they float a line that's so thick it's unbelievable. But let's check this out. In New Jersey, there's this girl. Her name is Rebecca Bennett. All right. It says here, she pitched herself as a parent with firsthand understanding the rising costs and economic uncertainty facing American families. But financial records, you're going to love this, show she collected a combined salary of nearly $250,000. That's $250,000 in 2024. She ain't poor, man. And holds an extensive investment portfolio with assets potentially worth $1.8 million and no liabilities. That means she's debt free. In New Mexico, this guy named Gabe Vasquez, uh, he he's a Democrat, has said he never had the luxury of financial wealth, quote unquote. Arguing voters are drawn to candidates who do not come from wealth. That's come from wealth is quote unquote. And described his mother as working long hours in Mexico's Dora maquiladora industry to make ends meet. But records reviews by Fox News show his mother held corporate finance roles at General Electric, including a finance manager and comptroller in Mexico, and later as a senior finance analyst in Indiana. While social media screenshots shared with Fox News showed repeated European travel, luxury shopping, and other upscale fame. When you know how I got to Europe? I've been to Europe twice. Well, about 5 times. Twice I got stationed there in the army. I had to join the army to go to Europe. You know, join the army, see the world, right? And the other times it's coming back from Iraq and Afghanistan. That's how I saw Europe. In Washington State, Marie Gusenkamp Perez, she's supposed to be a moderate Democrat, right? Uh, she built her blue collar image around the same time working in an auto shop and a Reed College history, saying she worked 3 jobs and paid for the private liberal arts school by the credit hour after her parents stopped paying her tuition. uh, but her financial disclosures, reviewed by Fox News, did not list her reportable student loan debt, while critics familiar with her time at Reed College have questioned whether jobs Glusinkat Perez cited, including as a nanny, a campus barista, and an iPhone case factory, okay, could have possibly covered the school's cost. So, uh, not bad, huh? So you'll get found out if you try to play the game, right? So this is what it says. Voters have seen through phony. Who said that? Oh, Colin Reed. Okay. Uh, Colin Reed is a so voters can see through the phony double talk easier than politicians ever realize. It's far better to be who you are and offer a competing vision to make voters' lives easier than comfort your own biography and back into into something it's not. Uh, this is from Colin Reed. He's a Republican strategist. Under normal circumstances, financial success and upper mobility would be attributes to lean into selling points on a campaign trail. Absolutely, yes, right? But with socialism, accident and demonization of wealth, not only far from behind, but far from these normal times. You know, that's true. That's very true. Uh, don't live a lie. I mean, you could tell someone when they're living above their means. You got people that have these nice expensive cars, but they never go nowhere, right? They uh, they got these really nice clothes. They go out to eat. They like use a credit card, not a check card, which you might not know anyway. So lots of times they'll go to Taco Bell or Whataburger. It's places where it doesn't cost a whole lot of money to go because you don't have a lot of disposable income. That's it. But they keep floating the fact to make it look like they make a lot of money and they're really poor like the rest of us, right? Well, I'm not poor, but that's what I'm telling you. Uh, Ricky on here says AOC said she needed a raise because she couldn't raise a family on $120,000 a year. Yeah, really? You can't raise a family on $120,000 a year. You might want to look at your expenses that you're spending all your money on. I mean, uh, I can understand like in that Ricky Covite for Life said that. Uh, I look at it like this, right? Um, if you're living in New York City and you're paying $5,000 a month for rent, that's $60,000 a year. I can see where 120,000 would be make it a little bit rougher on you, right? But that's why you go look for jobs that pay more than that. And if you where you live at, if you can't find a job that pays the money you need for your quality of life, move to an area where you can get a better paying job at. Don't restrict yourself because, oh, mommy lives here in Copper's Cove, so I'm just going to live here in Copper's Cove to be with her, and I'm going to work at uh, McDonald's for $9.15 an hour. Dude, get over yourself. You need to go get a job somewhere else. Uh, And then Luke says, Luke here, he said AOC still has student loans. Yeah, she's part of government deferment. They probably got a special clause in Congress saying if you spend 5 years in Congress, your student loans can be deferred. That's cool. Do you know, uh, this is ad lib again, I should be going off the script here, but our Secretary of State, he's got two kids. He's married. He's a lawyer. His wife is a ex cheerleader for the Miami Dolphins, but that's another story. But he had student loans from college, and he used the money that he was making as a U.S. senator to help pay off those student loans. He actually finished paying his students' loans off as a senator from the state of Florida. He did the right thing. right? Um, but I thought y'all would get a kick out of hearing some of these. Is there another example in here? And they're still talking about the same people. You know, they have student loan repayment in the Army. You can join the Army and as an enlisted men, and well, I think they still offer it, but it would be you'd sign a 4-year contract with the Army, you get student loan repayment, and on your first anniversary, second and third anniversary, what they do is they put your loans into deferment, and then on your first anniversary, your second anniversary, and your third anniversary, they make those payments and you pay them off up to a certain amount. Just so you know, you can join the Army. I survived. So yesterday, the United States hit a bad mark in its road to history. We're in our 250th year as a nation, and we hit $40 trillion in debt yesterday. That's 32 trillion held by the public and 7.78 trillion held inside the U.S. government. And in the first 10 months of this fiscal year, we added $1.8 trillion in debt to our national debt. So last year at this time, we were sitting at $38 trillion, and now we're at $40 trillion. Unsustainable. We got to do something about it. I heard Vince talking about this also this morning. It's going to come to a brick wall, and we got to fix this problem because we can't continue down this road every election cycle, give out more money. So sooner or later, we got to bring in more taxes, and then than what we're spending, or we're going to be into an area where our interest payments on our national debt are going to be twice as large as our defense budget. And you can't get around that because if you don't make at least your interest payments, you default. All right. Retired Rob, what? Didn't she go to bartender school? Look, before I go any further, Rob, you missed it. I know you're just now getting in, and you're probably like, what in the world is up with all these American flags in the live chat? Okay? We had a troll get on my live chat just a minute ago, and Luke and Scott and Ricky drowned the guy out. And I think he gave up and left because he was like saturating my live chat here. And I said, hey, let's do some American flags and drown them out. And we drowned them out. That was awesome. So just so y'all know, guys that are watching, me as the owner of my site, if I try to put the same thing up over and over, like do multiple American flags, like what Scott and Luke did, uh, uh, Rumble will tell me I can't do that because I'm the actual podcaster, but y'all can't. Okay, that's why I was asking y'all to do that. All right. Uh, let's see. It's already 8:53. So we'll go over this real quick. So Hermit Dillon, she is the civil rights director of the Department of Justice under Todd Blanche, right? She announced yesterday that she is sending 1,000 election monitors out for the November elections, the midterm elections, all over the country. And people are already blowing a gasket over it. But what people don't know that the Department of Justice does that all the time. This time she's sending out 1,000 instead of a couple hundred, and their job is just to observe and assist the election places only if they ask for assistance. But they're going to be there to help only if they need it. Because sometimes if you've ever been to a voting place, they can get overwhelmed, and you'll get a line like it's an hour long for people to want to exercise their constitutional rights to vote. But if you have if you plus up your numbers inside the voting area, you can, and you know they're being unbiased and neutral, you can get in there and accelerate the number of people going through and voting. And that's what she's doing there. All right. Which is a good thing, right? Um, I got to keep track of time. Matter of fact, hold on just a second. I got to get ready for Dan Bongino. Copy. I'm ready for the raid. All right. Um, and then Alex Vindman, the traitor, Lieutenant Colonel, retired U.S. Army, the guy that lied about President Trump's call to Vladimir Zelensky in 2019, which led to the first impeachment, the illegal impeachment, because it was a perfect call, right? So this cat retired from the Army, became a Democrat, and then moved 2 years ago to Florida and decided, hey, you know what's a grand idea? I've been in Florida for 2 years. I could be a U.S. Senator. I got one word for him. It's a compound word we use here in Texas for people who move here just for those purposes. Carpetbagger. And so he raised $16 million. I mean, he's a Democrat. Okay. They're rich, right? But he raised $16 million. He spent $9 against his DSA lady, Angela Nixon. She spent $957,000. So she spent less than 10% of what he spent, and she whooped him. She's going to get beat by Senator Moody, definitely, right? But I do to Red State. Y'all are killing me, guys. But yeah, so the carpetbagger himself uh, decided he wanted to run for the U.S. Senate and got trounced. I mean, here in Texas, you try that here in Texas. Oh, I just moved. Let's see. We'll do it like with what's her name, Jasmine Crockett. All right, because she's from Missouri, and she went to college in Tennessee, moved to Houston. Someone died in Congress, and then in the House, the state House. She took that seat, ran for Congress, and decided I could be a U.S. senator, and everybody saw straight through it. And now she's going to be unemployed in January. We hate carpetbaggers. Go home, right? Well, Miss Nixon's going to get trounced when it comes to November anyway. So they're wasting their money. But Alex Vindman, the president, was calling for him uh, to be prosecuted for what he did, and he should be. He should have been court-martialed. They could recall him back to active duty for what he did, but they didn't. And I don't think General Austin would have done that anyway. So, or let him go out fishing in the Gulf of Mexico. What do we got on time? It's 8:58. Also, go back and watch Vince if you want. Vince interviewed Ralph Norman toward the end of the podcast today. I just think Ralph Norman, he's running for Senate in South Carolina against Darlene Graham. I just think he is too old, and he sounded like he was too old during the interview. He couldn't answer all the questions. I don't trust him anyway. But it is what it is. But it's already 8:59, so I'm going to make my move to Alex is a disgrace to the military, and that is retired Rob, and he is retired MI, just like Alex Vindman was a MI officer also, right? So he knows exactly what type of character this MI officer was. All right, guys, I will see y'all tomorrow. I'm going to do the raid over to the Bongino report. Thank y'all for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the help, guys, with the troller. I really appreciate that. So there's the the raid's initiated. Thank y'all very much for showing up today. This is James Pierce with the JP8 report. I'll catch you on the flip side. I'm out. Don't forget to hit like for the episode. I'm out.